What was the first commercial fragrance? So this question came to me, and it turns out the answer to this is kind of harder than I expected it to be, and it involved more research than I thought it would. While the first mass-produced perfumes with consistent quality were produced by the Greeks and the Romans, and this happened between like 800 BCE and 100 CE, so like a long time ago, they weren't really like commercial per se. So as far as like commercially sold, let's go through what I found. Eau de Cologne was invented in Cologne, Germany, by an Italian barber who had migrated there in 1709. Cologne being the French name for city, not necessarily because he just couldn't pronounce like Cologne, Germany. But this product wasn't originally called Eau de Cologne. It was called Aqua Admirabilis, which basically means admirable water. And this wasn't just sold as like a smell good tonic, it was sold as like a cure all. So it was a magic, wonderful medicine. So this cologne, which is still sold today, mind you, was called 4711, which was the number of the address of the place that it was sold from. And this product was so popular that Napoleon Bonaparte actually used to wear this, and you can still buy it today, which is pretty interesting. What makes this even more interesting is this saw a huge shift from very heavy oil-based fragrances to something that was more light and airy and citrusy. And then there's Guerlain. In 1889, Guerlain came out with Jicky, which is considered the first modern commercial perfume to be on the market. Before Jicky, which I might be pronouncing that wrong, but I'm pretty sure based on the way it's spelled, that's how it's pronounced. The only thing on the market was Soliflores, which is French for solo flower. These perfumes were pretty linear. They were only trying to replicate one flower at a time, and they were using natural ingredients. The process could take quite a while to be able to replicate that flower, but as far as composition, they were pretty simple. Jicky, however, used vanillin, coumarin, and lanolol, along with natural ingredients. So this was the first use of both synthetic and natural ingredients to make a multi-layered perfume. Not only did this not smell like just one single flower, it smelt multi-layered, but it could also be produced on an industrial scale, and a bad harvest season did not affect the production of the perfume. And then it didn't really apply to what I was looking into, but just a random side note, this was not the first use of synthetic molecules in a commercial product for fragrance. Coumarin was used to make Fougère Royal in 1882, but the difference is that Jicky was multi-layered and used synthetics and naturals to produce a modern commercial perfume, whereas Fougère Royal or Fougère Royale was just like a single note. But this perfume did create a whole entire fragrance family, which is called Fougère or Fern-like. Now, I know that's a super brief rundown. That doesn't really cover everything, but I just thought it was a little bit of interesting background information on like commercial perfumes and how we kind of got to where we are.